Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about carpets. Now, I know that's probably not a favorite topic because mostly people are going with hardwood floors or vinyl flooring, but it's still pretty relevant carpet. We still put it in our bedrooms, and some people still put it in other parts of the house. So, I want to talk a little bit about carpet and what you need to know when you're shopping for it because there's actually a lot that you do need to know. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the type of materials that you need. You're going to need to know. One type in particular is called nylon. It is the most durable. It is stain resistant, and it is the perfect choice for people who have kids and pets. It's great for hallways and stairs. Why? Because it can take a lot of heavy traffic. And that's something you want to be aware of because the heavy traffic um, will put will cause I'm sorry about this. Will cause crushing. That's what it is. It's called crushing. That is when you can actually see the foot padding traffic. So just think about it when you're going into a carpet and you're constantly walking from one room to the other in this hallway where the carpet is, you're actually going to see the crushing of that carpet, the fibers going down, and of course more wear and tear and more dirt to it, but it actually gets crushed. And that's something that you want to keep in mind when you're looking for a carpet. The next material I want to talk about is polyester. It has a more luxurious feel. It is great. It has a great selection of color. It is good value, and I would consider it more for normal traffic. So maybe like your bedroom, dining room, although I would never put carpet in the dining room. Someplace that doesn't get a whole lot of traffic. Probably not your den or your living room because that's probably going to get a lot more traffic. The other one I want to talk about is polypropylene, also known as Olefin. It is good stain and moisture resistant, but it has low wearability. It's a loop pile construction, so it's very dense cut pile. And again, you want to watch out for the crush um, issue with that. The last one I want to talk about is wool. Wool is beautiful. It has natural beauty. It's not the best stain resistance. It is long lasting. I mean, the wool can last anywhere up to, if you get a real good one, up to 100 years. That's a very long time. You can't say that about those man-made materials. It's well constructed, and it definitely has crush resistant. So that is something you really want to know. I know I may not have wall-to-wall carpet in my house, but I do have a lot of area rugs. And all my area rugs are wool. Why? Because I cannot stand that crush pattern that you get from all the other man-made materials. So keep that in mind. Now, the first things that I want to talk about, I'm going to talk mostly about man-made material. Okay, so now that we've talked about the materials that the carpets come into, I want to talk about some of the construction that they come in. So the first one I want to talk about is, see if I got that, is called the cut pile. As you can see here, the fibers are cut straight across. That gives it a more luxurious look. This one is also called Saxony. So when you're going out shopping, so if you see that name, that means it's cut pile. It is more luxurious. It is definitely, out of all the other construction, this is probably the most costly. This is what you mostly see in homes. All right, so the next one I want to talk about is your loop. Now you can see the difference right here. Oh, sorry, okay. Okay, sorry about that. You can see the loop here. It's not cut, it's just looped. All right, the loop pattern, it's great for commercial because the crush resistant. Nothing is crush proof, but it's definitely more resistant than the cut pile, as you can see. It's a lot more durable against the wear and tear. It's great for commercial. It's also great for like the dining room and stuff like that. If you want to put it in the dining room, probably in your dens, in your living room. You might want to put this in your basement, although I'm not a big fan of putting any carpets in your basement unless it's an area rug. So this is called the loop pile. Okay. The next one I want to talk about is the pattern pile. Why? because it creates a pattern. It's a variation of loops, the high and the lows, which gives it this variation here on this style here. Again, great for commercial, a lot more crush resistant than your cut one. Again, great for dining rooms and I like it at dining room because it's low cut, so you can pull out the chair. But something like this is really great for your living room, your dens, because it gets a lot of wearability on this, and it will stain a lot better than, say, the cut pile. So this is called the pattern pile. This one I think is a really pretty one. It's a combination of both. You have the cut and the loop, and you can see it gives it this really distinct pattern to it. Now, this is a pattern they created. You can make all kinds of pattern with this. So it gives you the luxurious feel of a cut pile, but it gives you the durability of a loop pile. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. I still think you have to watch out for the crush resistance in this. I think you're still going to have that problem, so keep that in mind, but I think it's a really unique look. So this is called a cut loop pile. Okay, so now that we've talked a lot about the material and the style of the carpet, now I want to talk a little bit more about the variations of them. This is called smooth, right? Now the smooth is generally the cut pile, right? So these are the style, that was the construction. So the smooth is a cut pile carpet. It has a uniform look. As far as height goes, it's usually a low height. And the reason being is because the more dense and the more the more dense the fibers are together, the thicker the pile, the less crush resistance it will get. So when you're shopping for carpets and you turn around the back, it'll label something like stain resistant. It'll also label like crush resistant. So when you've got a high-end carpet that's smooth cut and has a lot more dense fibers to it, it is going to be more crush resistant. This is a more formal look. This is something you want to put in your living rooms as opposed to your den or your family room, because it has a very luxurious look to it. So this is the smooth one. Okay. The next one is called texture, and I want to show you the difference. If you can see, you see the difference? Okay. All right, so now with the texture, the fibers are a little longer and they're twisted a little bit more, which is a less formal look, but again, you're going to have issues with the crush pattern there because it is much taller, the fiber. So it's going to have, it's going to be more prone to being crushed, but it's great for like your dens in your living room. And again, I think price, the dense of the fiber will dictate the price and the quality. So something that you want to keep in mind when you're shopping for carpets. So this is the texture. And now I'm going to show you the twist. Again, see the difference? Whoop. Doesn't always cooperate with me, does it? Okay, sorry. You can see that? Whoop. Again, see that? Okay, so the twist is even longer fibers and twisted. It has a very casual appearance, almost like a shag, not quite. Again, something you want to have to consider is the crush patterns that you're going to get from this, that you want to keep that in mind. So, but again, it's nice to, if you have denser fibers, you'll have a little less resistance of that. Keep in mind, this is something you might want to put in your den and your family room, because it is more casual look. So this is called a twist. I like this one. And if you're old enough to remember, shag carpets were really popular in the 70s. I know I did it myself, but you can see from her hand how luxurious that is and how it would feel. But you're definitely gonna get a crush pattern with this, but it is nice and luxurious to feel, to walk into that shag rug. It is an option. I wanted to show it to you, but keep in mind this is something that you're probably going to have to worry about a lot with the crush. Okay, so now that we talked about styles, I want to get into a little bit about the types of carpets, because when you go shopping for area rugs or even carpets in general, you especially with wool, which is what we're going to be talking about now, is wool. There are different types of carpets when it comes to wool and different names. So I want you to be aware of the names that are out there, okay? and I'm sure you probably heard of some of these, okay? This is called hand knot, okay? Now, you know when you go to the restaurants and they show you the dollar bill signs, so 1 is cheap, 4 is expensive. So that's how I'm going to rate this so you have an idea of what the cost is going to be for something like this. For a hand knot wool, it's got $4 bill signs, so that is pretty pricey. Its durability is really great. It has on a good quality, just good. It has a 10 to 25 years. That is amazing. On a great quality, you have 100 year. These are the carpet, the area rugs that are passed down from generation to generation because they're almost indestructible. It is very labor intensive. That's why there's a $4 bills to this because it's very costly. The more knots per square footage, the better quality is, and that will usually dictate the price. The knots are usually visible on the back side of it, and it is great for living rooms and bedrooms. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is your hand tuft. It's almost like your cut pile. Okay, your hand tuft has $2 bills. It is durable from 3 to 6 years for standard and 5 to 10 for premium. Now you can see on this, you can see there's actually 2 different cut piles. I think this pinky beige color has a higher cut pile than the white, which is nice because you can give different variations on that. There's something that you want to think about when you're buying wool rugs, that there is shedding. Shedding, it looks like almost like little tumbleweeds or fuzz balls or whatever you want to call it. They all get it. Some are better than others. This one will shed initially, but will subside over time. It is less time consuming to make one of these. That's why it's more affordable. And it has a thicker pile height, as you can see here. And it's great for your family room, your bedroom, and your living room. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is your hand hooked. And you can see that it's a loop. Remember we talked earlier, it's a loop. The price is $2 bills. It's durable from 3 to 10 years, still a good nice length. The shedding is less than your hand tuft because it is looped. It will subside over time. Again, it's less time consuming, so that's why it's more affordable. It's ideal for the family room, the bedroom, and the living room only because you know, it's looped, so I'm assuming it's probably shorter piles, and it makes it easy to pull the chair back and forth when you need to do that. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is the flat weave construction. All right, this one has a $2 bill, so it's not bad. It's also 3 to 10 years as far as durability. The shedding is moderate, but again, will subside in time. It's sometimes referred to as kiln, as besides flat weave, and I think it's another terminology called duri. I think it's pronounced that way. It's woven rather than hand knotted. What I really like about the flat weave, which I actually have in my living room, is you can flip it over. And it's the same pattern on both sides. So if you have it on one side and it gets a little dirty and you're not quite ready to clean it, you can just flip it over and voila, nice and clean. So you get a little bit more clean time with this one, which I love. It's ideal for heavy traffic because it's flat, so it's smoother. It's great for dining room because again, you can pull your chair out and it's not going to get cut. It's not going to get caught on those high the cut piles, which tends to be a little high on the rest of us, like those hand tuft and the hand knotted ones. But this is a really nice construction to get on this one, the flat weave. And the next one I want to talk about is hand woven shag. Back to the shag again. The price tag on this is 2. It's from 2 to 8 years. The shedding is moderate, and that's because look how long those fibers are, so you're going to get a lot of shedding on this for an extended period of time. But again, will subside over time. You just have to be patient with that. Obviously, if it comes in polyester, you're going to have minimal shedding, but we're talking about wool right now, so there will definitely be some shedding on this. This is a more luxurious feel. Look to it. I really like it. It's nice for your den, your living rooms, your well, not your dining rooms, but your family rooms. So this is the hand woven shed. The next area, next carpet I want to talk about is your indoor and your outdoor. Now, this is not going to be wool because you don't put wool outdoors. It's going to get ruined. This is going to be one price tag. The durability is 1 to 5 years outdoor, 2 to 8 years indoor. The shedding, there is none. Why? Because it's man-made material. Again, you can't put wool outdoor. I mean, I certainly wouldn't do it. But the man-made material has been infused with UV inhibitors, so it allows the color to stay put for quite a bit of time. This is what I really like. It's mold and mildew resistant. So if this is something you want to use to put in your basement, you certainly can. You can also, believe it or not, put it into your dining room because if you get some stain on it, you can take it out, you can wash it with soap and water, hang it up to dry. It's great. Not always the nicest style. Definitely not like a high-end look, luxurious like you would get from your wool, but it's something that you can consider putting into your dining room. It can withstand up to 500 hours of direct sunlight, so that's actually quite nice. It's great for when you're having an outside deck area and you're having a living room area, you know, your wicker chair out there, you want to put that in that area. It's great. It just makes like having outdoor living room. So I do love that. It's ideal for patio, outdoor dining area, and again, like I said, you can definitely put this in your basement. So this is an indoor and outdoor area rug. Okay. Next one I want to talk about, which I know I talked about earlier, is the man-made materials. Okay, usually with man-made material, it's got two dollar bill sign because it all, again, it depends on the quality that you're buying. The more denser the fibers, the less crush resistance, the more crush resistance you get, so you'll have less crush patterns. So that will also dictate the price of it. It's 2 to 6 years as far as durability. It's shedding is minimal because you are looking at man-made material. You do have to, like I said, you have to watch out for the crush with the heavy traffic pattern. So again, the better the quality, the better the crush resistant will be. So keep that in mind. Okay. So that is the man-made. This is my personal favorite. May not appeal to everybody, especially the vegans out there. I'm sure this is something that I'm probably not going to like, but it's out there, so I have to let you be aware of what it is. This is called hair on hide. This is actually cowhide that has been dyed and cut into strip to create this beautiful pattern. I mean, I just love this look. I don't know if you've seen it. Most of you have seen just where they take the cowhide and just make that one cowhide. This is a little bit different. It's more labor intense as far as the construction goes here. I'm going to show you this one. This one's my personal favorite. You can see the different color. This one was more gray. Right, this one's more brown. The price tags on these is $2 bill. The durability is 5 to 10 years. There's very minimal shedding on this because it's hair. Because it is a natural hide, it does come in different patterns. This is why they create these patterns, because each hide has little different variations, so they create patterns. And now it is fabulous to look at. It is great for the dining room because, again, it's very low and you can pull it out. As far as stain goes, you have to be careful because it is hair on hide, and it also has a felt backing, but I'm telling you, this stuff is just gorgeous. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, and I have actually some samples to show you, but before I do, I'm going to put this one. Okay, this one first. Okay, so what do we got here? This is actually, they're called carpet tiles. What I really love about carpet tiles, The pros are it's the easiest to install. It's the easiest to replace. It lets you express your creativity. It allows for custom sized patterns and texture and is less waste. Why? Because this is what it looks like. Okay, and I'll get into a little bit more about this. All right, so you can see here that they started with the lighter blue and they went to medium blue, a little darker, and then dark all the way over here. This is what it allows you because you can buy different colors and intermix them, which is really great. Here, I'm going to show you some more. Look at this one. I think this one's kind of cool, right? So if you have children or a play area or even a basement, this is something that you can get really funky and have some fun with it because you can do all kinds of different patterns on it. And if you wanted to finish this, you can finish this with a black border all the way around. So the sky's the limit. I mean, this is a little bit busy for me as far as patterning goes, but you know, sky's the limit. You know, creativity, let it flow, I always say, but I love this. Okay, here's another idea to do with these carpet tiles. Okay, now look at that. That is a hallway, right? So if you were to lay an area, you know, if you were to buy a carpet for that, you'd have to worry about the width of that and the length of that. It might not come into the length and the width that you need, but with the carpet tiles, you can create something quite unique like this. I mean, really, imagination with this particular material is wonderful. Okay, so that is the carpet tile. So now I'm going to put this down so I can talk a little bit better with you. What are the cons with the carpet tile? Well, it lacks the softness of the broadloom, which is those cut piles, right? Because most of them are found in loop piles, and I wanted to show you. You see that? Okay, these are all loop, okay? This is what the backing looks like, all right? This company floor, right there, okay, this is a good company. I have all different colors and styles. Look at this. This is the pattern, so all you have to do is just put it together just like this, and it comes with little sticky things that you stick on the back here, and you just lay it on the floor and it stays put. It is more expensive as far as cost up front. That is because this stuff's not cheap. But think about this. You no longer have to pay for anybody to install it because you can lay this down. I mean, this is really very easy, and it's very easy to cut. Okay, you just use a utility knife, you score it, and you snap it. Well, not snap it, but you cut it, and it's really easy. And you can do all kinds of great designs and pattern with this. I mean, I just love this. I think this is a very unique look. Like, I know the cost up front might be costing, you go, wow, that's a lot of money, but when you don't have to pay for installation and you don't have, you know, it'll reap the it'll balance out the costs up front that you're paying for this. I also like about it is, let's say you spill something on this particular square right here. Well, you pop it up, put another one down, call it a day. So this is what's really fabulous about these squares. Just wanted you to be aware of what's out there. So this is pretty much it for the carpets. I hope you learned a lot. There's a lot of information about carpets. You need to do your homework when you go shopping. You need to know, like I said, the style, the fabric, the construction, what you're getting into, what the cost is. Again, keep in mind, you have to look for stain resistance. You have to look for crush resistance. These are all things that are very important when picking out your carpet. Everything will dictate the price of what you're going to be paying for it. So there's a lot to consider. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot. If you have any comments, please post them below. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any design dilemmas, please feel free to reach out and talk to me. I'd love to help you with any of your design projects that you have out there. So for now, this is it. We'll talk again next week. Till then, have a great day, everybody. Bye.